You Knicks fans, welcome to another episode of KnicksFansWilding. Feel me? Got the LED lights right there. Knicks fans wilding out here. Man, we got a jam-packed show. It's the playoff preview. I say that again, the playoff preview. First time in 8 years the New York Knicks are in the playoffs. As always, you can find us, the guy, on the Off the Ball Network. Always check out my guys. Man. We got a jam-packed show. As always, I'm here with my co-host Don Juan. Tell the people it was really good.
Yeah, what's popping, everybody? Thank you guys for listening. Just know NY, we're here. We in the building.
Sir.
We ready for this playoffs. It's been a long time. And hey, we're here. Let's enjoy the moment.
Yeah, man, for sure, Juan. And I'm joined by my other guy. I always see this guy around this time of the year. I always see him once a year around this time of the year. And it's for the playoff lottery. And we always upset. And we always have to get super drunk and crying and talking about what we want to see. But this time I'm seeing him on webcam because we in the playoffs. Was really good, bro.
What's going on, my brother Mario Don Juan? Thank you for having me, man.
Of course,
I know I've seen y'all wilding out. I got one thing to say, baby. We here.
Yes, sir. Yeah. We here. And I always, every episode tell y'all to check out the Off the Ball Network. And right here, we're joined by part of the team, man. For the first time, get to chop it up. You know, in the chat room, these guys is bona fide Knicks haters. And my man, he always got the sword out with me because we stay fighting. Everybody always joining us, trying to compound us. But you know what it is. It's all love on the Off the Ball. Edgar, bro, nice to finally see you and meet you, man. Tell the people it was really good.
Same guys, man. Thank you for having me on the show, man. I'm excited. I'm so excited that I don't have to worry about draft lotteries, tanking and all this stuff. Instead, we got to worry about a playoff matchup and playoff series and be all excited.
For real, man.
It's been a long time.
Very long.
I don't even know anybody in the draft beside Cade and Jalen Green, man. That's weird. I usually know everybody from France to the other overseas. I'm all over the draft usually, but not this year, man. This year I'm worried about the Atlanta Hawks. But yeah, let's get right into it, man. It's too much to talk about. Not enough time. But before we talk about the playoffs, obviously, the first thing we got to talk about is this season. What an amazing season it's been. What an amazing ride it's been. Edgar, I want to start with you, man, because you stole my opening line, but that's how great Knicks minds think, man. That's how great Knicks creators think. I want to start by asking you guys, what is the greatest moment you guys have experienced this season? Edgar, what's up with you?
This season, there's just too many moments. It's so hard to pick one. But I guess the 9-game winning streak, just that I put that all together into one moment because that was just great. Like that whole winning streak, everybody was talking about us, ESPN, Bleacher Report, all the haters. There was nothing they could say to hate on us because we were just winning. And every game in that winning streak was pivotal because it helped us get the 4th seed in the end. Imagine we would have dropped one of those games or maybe 2 of those games. We're probably not the 4 seed.
Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah. What's good, man? Well, tell me about your favorite moment of the season, favorite game of the season.
My favorite game. I don't even have a favorite game, man. This whole year has just been incredible. But you know what? My favorite highlight and person that's came on to the Knicks is Emmanuel Quickly. And the reason I say that is because he has brought a new light, I think, in terms of the youngins. And, we haven't seen this since, KP, dare I say his name. But
whoa, that name is not allowed on this.
Listen,
it's not allowed.
IQ has brought the excitement back, a little bit of that Curry we seen that we missed out on. You know what I'm saying? And it's just truly exciting to watch, man. For real.
Yeah, man, for sure. I mean, I said it earlier. My favorite moment of the season, that Indiana Pacers New York Knicks game when we won 17-17. I felt like the Knicks were on the bubble. It was like, wow, the Knicks are actually doing all right this year. But people were expecting that downfall. And I feel like that game I mean, nobody expected us to show out. We was down 16 at one point, and we came back fighting, man, and that was pretty good. And then I was outside wilding. Everybody was wilding outside the garden that day, and it was just happy moments, man. And I feel like that made the Knicks get crazy, man. What about you, Don Juan? What's your favorite moment of the season?
My favorite moment, and it's funny because mine was actually early on in the season, way before the D Rose trade. I don't even think we were over 500 yet, but it was that win against Utah early on in the season and it was a time where I was a big fan of Austin Rivers. Well, more of the acquisition. I was like, yo, this kid could really help us. We need a scorer. It seemed like at the time we were still looking for that scoring guard off the bench that could really, solidify the bench in a sense. And I saw that big game of Rivers. I was on Twitter going crazy, like that's the reason we signed him. But the game in general, it was just to see the comeback, see that fight from them was dope. But I got like a B, which is really A, because how it turned out is just the acquisition of Derrick Rose, how he's just changed the whole season, the whole, we probably thought, I mean, like I said it before in other episodes where I thought the Knicks were, borderline playing team. And after they got Rose, I'm like, okay, maybe we're just gonna be an 8th seed. And look at where his acquisition has gotten us, his 4th seed, and getting those Derrick Rose moments, especially through the those tough games like a Phoenix where he pretty much put us on his back in the 4th quarter. Like it's just seeing moments like that with Derrick Rose. It's like, yo, the season has been truly,
Yeah, man,
like
for sure. For sure, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, we couldn't expect none of this throughout in the beginning of the year, but guess what? We are here.
Yes,
And we are
sir.
wilding, and that's it. That's it. Forget about the nice moments. Forget about everything because we throwing that right out the window because we got to focus on the Atlanta Hawks now. First
Yes.
round.
Yes.
All right. We're not trying to lose in the first round. We're not trying to lose in the first round, but Knicks versus Hawk, the 4th versus the 5th seed. May I say, I don't know if I'm being a little biased, but maybe the most evenly as far as teams close by in the first round because these teams are too heavily equal, and it just shows by the record. Look at this stat right here. The Knicks and the Hawks finished with a 41-31 record. The
Mhm.
Knicks, they scored 107.7 points per game. They allowed 104.7. The Hawks scored 113.7 and they allowed 111.4. Both of them separated by 2.3 points. This team is equal. They're just so alike. And it's just going to be a battle. And first thing I want to talk about is player matchups. Let's look at the starting 5. Don Juan, I'm going to start with you, man. What's the most interesting player matchup you're looking forward?
The one that I want to see is sorry about that, guys. My dog tapping hand there. But the one I want to see the most is probably Julius Randle and John Collins. These are two guys that they had like a prove it year in a sense. John Collins, he's up for a contract this summer, and he's playing for a max. He's playing for a max deal, and this year, I mean, I still don't think he's a max player. By the way, just to throw that out there. But in terms of just the all around game that he brought, he improved his 3-point shooting. He's a good he was a good all around player from athletic. He just needed to add that 3-point shooting, and he did this year. I mean, let me see. Let me pull up his stats. I didn't even peep what was his shooting, but he was shooting pretty good. I mean, 57%. 56% from no 57% from the field, damn near 40% from this season from 3, and that's all they needed to really to expand the floor for a guy like Trey Young, who I think last year they had a problem when they acquired Capella and playing him with John Collins. They really couldn't spread the floor that much, and for a guy that like Trey Young who could break down a defense and drive in, you need guys to spread the floor. And I think that if we end up double teaming Trey Young, which we probably will, a guy like John Collins could really expose the Knicks defense because we need to rotate and make sure we get back, and someone like Julius Randle who isn't the fastest or best defensive player on the team. I don't know if I could like I could just bank on Julius Randle making it back on time for John Collins not to hit that shot. So but at the same time, on the other side, they got to guard Julius Randle too, who's having a crazy year, and it seems like his favorite team to play is the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, this guy was on a tear every time. It's like it was like a bull seeing a red flag. He just went off. I mean, he averaged 37 points, 12 rebounds, with 7 assists. Shooting 50% from three, 58% from the field. I mean, this guy was doing it all. And I'm really excited because even Julius Randle, he came in trying to prove himself. He wanted to be that number one player. And as he's shown this year, he is that. And maybe he's our max player too. So that's the matchup I'm really excited to see.
Yeah, man. I mean, I disagree with some of the things you said about John Collins, but you made a lot of valid points. But at the end of the day, nobody could stop that man, Julius Randle. Nobody stopping Jules. Nobody could guard him in Atlanta, man. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Edgar, talk to me, bro. What is the most interesting player matchup you want to see?
I'm actually looking forward to seeing the Clint Capella and Taj Gibson and Nerlens Noel matchup because I gotta put Noel and Taj together. Because they're going to get the bulk of the minutes at center, and that's going to be a huge matchup. I mean, all the games that they played this season against us, I think Capella's been averaging about like 14 and 14. Last game he had 22 rebounds, 25 rebounds, and he's just a handful. Like he sets hard screens. He rolls off those screens, and they always find him for lobs. That's a big threat on offense. Trae Young is always looking for those lobs to Capella. Actually, Trae Young, Lou Williams, any of the guards, they always seem to throw it up at him. If you watch any Hawks game, they average a decent amount of lobs, and they mostly go to him. So that's going to be a real key matchup. I mean, Nerlens Noel is going to have to bring it on defense. We know he blocks shots and all that. But the problem is that Capella is a very physical, strong guy. So he boxes out. He doesn't give up on the plays, and he gets a lot of rebounds and a lot of putbacks, all that.
Yeah, man. I mean, you saw it in out west how they struggled the big men out like Noel and with the big men like Jokic and stuff like that. So they're gonna have to bring it, definitely.
And another thing that we gotta watch out for is they can't get into foul trouble. They can't get into foul trouble because them two pick up cheap, easy fouls. The next guy up is Norval Pell, and no disrespect to him, but I don't know if he can really keep up with a monster like Capella.
Man. And Noel too. Every time he jumps and falls, I just hold my breath because that guy look like he's made of glass. You feel me? He got butter hands and is made of glass, But I'm not trying to shit on my man Noel, right? But yeah, it's gonna be crazy matchup, and like you said, Noel and Gibson, they're a joint package, so they're definitely gonna have to bring it. They're gonna have to stay out of foul trouble and handle that man Capella. We don't want to bring this man's name up either on this podcast, but Fizdale, he used to mention Mitchell Robinson as a comparison a lot to Clint Capella. He used to say that Mitch should model his game a lot to Clint Capella, and Mitch kind of was doing his thing. But anyway, we're not going into that Fizdale. We're not doing that Fizdale. We're not bringing his name here.
We could have really used Mitch in this series, man. Like
definitely. Knicks in 5.
Just sucks that he can't go, man. I really wish because I think his length and stuff would have given Capella problems.
No, just his defensive on the pick and roll has been such a boost this year. He just made great strides. But get well soon, Mitch. We need you in the second round for sure. Eve, man, talk to me, bro. What's the matchup you really looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to this Reggie Bullock and DeAndre Hunter matchup. And
defensive specialist.
I've been thinking about it. Yeah, it's interesting because Hunter's a big boy. He's a strong kid, and I feel like Bullock may have some problems there. And, with the foul trouble, we've seen him, fall into that trap. But I think he's the vet, and he's going to step it up. And his play with Randle is going to be really, really important in this game. But at the end of the day, I think his experience is gonna give that advantage over Hunter. And you know what? It's a team. It's 1 through 15, right? Like we said, like he said. And I think that Knicks defense is gonna give Hunter more trouble than Atlanta is gonna give Bullock, more trouble. Mm-hmm. And he gets on a streak, hits a couple threes. That's all we need from him.
Yeah,
man.
But see, when you bring up that matchup, I necessarily feel like Bullock isn't going to guard Hunter. I feel like he's going to be placed on Trae Young, and RJ is going to guard Hunter, because usually, by the way things go, Reggie Bullock usually guards the other team's best perimeter player or point guard, and that his length and his D might give Trae some type of fits. So I think that's the matchup Tibbs is probably going with.
So wait, so you're saying that Elfrid Payton isn't going to be guarding Trae?
I see, because I watch the games, and I usually see Reggie guarding the other team's best offensive player.
Okay.
On most nights, so I'd be really surprised if Reggie doesn't guard Trae from the start.
I agree.
It'd be interesting though, but I don't know if Payton could guard Hunter down low. I mean, how would that work? Kind of RJ will guard him. I mean,
RJ work.
I mean, who are the Hawks starting? Trae, Capella,
Bogdanovich. All right, I could see Payton on Bogey.
Yeah, to me, it's interchangeable. Reggie's either going to guard Bogdanovich or Trae Young. That's what I feel. I feel like I can see those matchups for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you brought up a good point. And another thing, I mean, this is going to be so big this playoff because the Hawks are so crafty with the foul, especially Trae. We just got to stay out of foul trouble because we don't want to see a foul-a-thon, man. I don't want to see that. I'm not signing up for this foul-a-thon.
Man, now that you mentioned fouls, though, I feel like that it is the playoffs, and based on that Laker game last night was how it panned out. I mean, I saw the refs choking on those whistles, but they wasn't really calling any fouls. Like I saw a lot of physical, from both sides. It wasn't just Lakers. It wasn't just everybody was physical in that game, and if that's how the playoffs are gonna be, I think the Knicks have an advantage on that side because they are one of the. Also being one of the top defensive teams in the league, they also get into foul trouble. They do foul a lot. So, we want to avoid getting there, but it seems like the refs are not calling that much foul, so that might play to our advantage.
Yeah, and if it's a physical matchup, New York is definitely coming up on top of that because that's Tibbs right there, cup of tea.
You don't want to play his game. You want to fall for his trap.
Yeah, for sure. But my interesting player matchup is not even just one specific player. It's definitely going to be the bench, the dynamics of the bench. As I mentioned earlier, this team is so evenly matched, and it just shows in the bench. I mean, the Hawks come out with a lot of shooters. Gallinari, we know about him, his time in New York, and just how he's just created a nice career. He can't stay healthy, but when he's healthy, he can really light it up. Lou Williams was a nice addition for them at the deadline. So definitely Lou Will. And the Knicks come out, as he mentioned, we got Quickly, we got Rose, we got Obi gonna play 5 minutes, give Randall a little 5 minutes rest and stuff like that. But the benches is gonna be huge for me, especially with Payton only playing 12 to 15 minutes. How many minutes is Rose gonna play? Is Rose gonna get unleashed? If we're gonna see playoff Rose, playoff Rose is dangerous.
He's gonna have to get unleashed. I don't want to hate on Payton and stuff. I try to keep it even with him because I understand he's still a player on our team, and I still want to have some type of respect for him. But his leash is gonna have to be very short, and Rose is gonna have to play a lot of minutes.
Yeah,
a lot of minutes.
We can't go down 6-0, 8-0 to start the game. We cannot.
Yeah, I mean, and Tibbs flirted with the idea of putting Frank out there. So the Frank Hive might be buzzing this playoff.
Hey, and he's been playing these last few games. He's been getting some minutes and playing some decent actual contributing minutes.
And he loves guarding Trae Young. I feel like when Frank is on Trae, he plays
pretty good defense.
Yeah,
You're
he
putting a
has.
defense
Track
against
record. He's got the track record.
him.
He does.
For sure.
He does frustrate Trey Young. If you've watched him play before, like you guys have, he does give Young some fits.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Oh man, but I can't wait. I can't wait to Sunday, fellas. I can't wait to Sunday. Let's get into this coaching. Coach Tibbs, the potential right now came out earlier today. Top 3 coaching of the year candidate. And Nate McMillan, if he was there the whole year, he would definitely be on that list. That man came and turned the Hawks season around. The Hawks looked like a fire trash earlier. They were struggling. Nate McMillan came and turned that around. Yeah, let me ask you, E, first, what you looking for in the coaching? Do you think this coaching battle is going to be? What are you expecting to see the X and the O's of these coaches?
I mean, we know it's gonna be a lot of push from the Knicks, pushing the ball and threes. And I think we got to stick with our guns. And what's worked through this season. Why let up now? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Facts.
So I'm looking for the Knicks to really push the ball, spread the floor, and knock down some tray ball, and work around Randall.
For sure. Edgar, what you looking for too, man?
I see a lot of cerebral type of stuff, like one guy trying to outcoach the other. And if you notice, Nate McMillan already threw the first stone. He got fined, for making comments about the NBA basically the NBA looking out for the Knicks, and it's in the best interest of the league for us to be good and all that. He threw the first stone.
Yes, he did.
So he's already trying to put the officials and the league on notice. But Tibbs is not going to fall for any of that type of stuff. I mean, he's a solid guy, very smart head coach. I don't think he's really going to make many changes, and if he does, I might see him sending out double teams, like random double teams at Trey Young to make him uncomfortable, try to disrupt the lobs and the 3-point shot off the screens and things like that.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be a battle. Don Juan, finish it off. What you thinking, man? What you seeing in these coach battles?
Hey, I'm actually real confident in this coaching battle and it's just because Tibbs has the pedigree. Nothing against Nate McMillan, but his track record is that he's not really a good coach in the playoffs. He's lost a lot of. He's been upset many times from his Pacers days to his Portland Trailblazer days. Like, he's always a really good in-season coach, and we still haven't seen him be as successful as a head coach in the playoffs. So, only time could tell. But he has done a great job this season. He has turned around that team. He has unlocked them. But I still think Tibbs has the edge over him with the experience. I mean, Tibbs has championship experience from his Boston days assistant coach. He had his run with the Bulls. If not for injuries to Derrick Rose, I mean, they might have won a championship themselves. So I throw the edge over Nate McMillan. Tibbs is definitely has the edge over him, but the fact that the defense that he preaches defense wins championships. Granted, it got lost a little bit with the Warriors and whatnot, but even then, the Warriors still play great defense, and I still harp on that. As long as we play defense, it's gonna keep us in the game, and Coach Tibbs is gonna be the one screaming at our necks to make sure we playing defense. So, hey, we're here. I never seen Nick McMillan get mad and scream. So I hear Coach Tibbs coaching me. I'm over here just chilling on my couch, and I hear him screaming. Like, it's hilarious.
Yeah, man. I love hearing Tibbs scream through that TV. That's just exciting. Even though I haven't heard it that much this year, but I can't wait. Playoffs are gonna have the extra mic.
Playing around with his mask. His mask is over here, over there. Like, he don't even know what to do.
It's a chin strap. He wears it as a chin strap. But yeah, fellas, let's get right into the next topic. The biggest X factor. We talked about player matchups briefly, but I want you guys to tell me who is the biggest X factor this series. I'm gonna start it off. I'm gonna go Nerlens Noel. All right, Edgar talked about it briefly, but the Nerlens Noel is gonna be huge this series. He has a tough job against Capella, who last game had 26 points and 22 rebounds. He was straight cooking us. We gotta defend that. And just the pick and roll with Trae Young. They're gonna continuously run that pick and roll. And I was watching a video, I forgot from who, man. My fault for not shouting you out, but they just showed how Mitchell Robinson was just showing with that pick and roll and just leaning back and just protecting the lob, hands up, from the lob, and just hands down too for Trae, to see what he does. So Nerlens Noel is gonna have to repeat that. We're gonna have to see that repeated, and I hope Tibbs is. He said he had a big book that he's been studying film, so I hope he's looking at that Mitchell Robinson tape. So my X factor is Nerlens Noel. Big job coming up. You got to defend Trae Young outside, and you got to stop Clint Capella inside, man. I'm gonna go with you first, Don Juan. Who's your X factor of the series?
My X factor is, man, it would be nice to say Alfred Payton, but it's Frank Ntilikina. I mean, I think that. I mean, I'm on Alfred Payton, bro. I said it. I don't think I said this earlier, but Alfred Payton has to play the best 6 to 10 minutes of his life. But that, I'm not saying he's the X factor. I wish I could say that. But the X factor realistically is the guy that probably will play minutes for him is Frank Ntilikina. I mean, Frank, we've been waiting for this moment for way too long for Frank. I mean, what is it? It's been 4 years already of Frank that we've been just waiting for him to step up. And, we get the flashes from the international play of how good he is and how important of a role he could play on a winning team. And now that we're winning, it seems like we found the role for him, because at the same time, he's really not a point guard, and we have to accept it. But if you limit his role to just 3 and D, he don't really have any decision making to make when he has the ball. He's just shoot or pass it up to Randall, or to RJ. But he's really the X factor, and in both offense and defense, like, we need him to hit shots. We need him to hit shots desperately, because I mean, we could easily go on a funk and and when they double teaming Randall and they ready for that kick out, it's gonna be Frank that's gonna be left wide open realistically. Like, that's the one that they're gonna not really hedge on too much. So both offensively and defensively, I think Frank has to really is really the X factor that we need
You banking on Frank playing valuable minutes, man. Let's see. I don't know. Tip flirted with it, but we just don't know. Let me go with you, E. What's your X factor player matchup, Knicks wise? Tell me, bro. Talk to me, man.
Man, I'm going with Alec Burks. When you think back,
I forgot to mention him off the bench. My bad.
Yeah. Listen, when we've been down bad, needed a bucket, and Randall's not, having his best game, Burks comes and saves the day. Yes. Under the fourth quarter, under pressure, cool, calm, and collective. I think it may not be the first game, but, it's a long series, and I think Burks is going to come up huge off the bench, hit a few big threes, and just be that spark plug, off the bench.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, that's our point guard in the fourth quarter. I mean, Knicks won a lot of games when he was down, but I mean, when the games got real tight, you noticed that we missed Alec Burks, and he's definitely a point guard of the fourth quarter. He's gonna be huge. That's a great point. I forgot all about Burks.
He's a leader.
Yeah, man. Leader. What about you, Edgar? Your X factor player matchup for the Knicks this playoffs?
I don't have one. I have 3 actually. Alec Burks, like you said, Alec Burks is going to be huge. I mean, he's our clutchest, aside from Randall, clutchest player in the fourth quarter. Like, he always seems to come up with some big basket, some big layup at the right time, and he's so even keeled. Like, if you notice, he's never panicking. His facial expression is always the same. He doesn't run away from the moment. He takes the ball. He dribbles. He's a smooth player. Like, he gets the stuff done when it needs to get done. Next one is Derrick Rose. I think I said it before. I mentioned it, last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. I tweeted about it. Derrick Rose is going to win us a playoff game. Hands down. I believe that he's going to come out, drop a 30 piece, 35 piece, and he's going to win us. He's going to win us a game. I think he's been waiting for this. I think he's been waiting for this type of moment. And in a big stage, he's going to keep reminding everybody that he's still got it. He's still there. Like, he's still a threat. He can still light it up, and he's going to be a huge X factor for us. And the last one, the fans. the fans are going to be the biggest X factor because
Yes.
if you really think about it, we have, and I know it might sound a little crazy, but we have home court 4 straight games because home court over here at MSG, home court over there in Atlanta. There's a lot of Knicks fans over there. There's going to be a lot of Knicks fans going to that game, and Knicks fans are always loud in ATL. If you go back on YouTube and you watch Knick and Hawks games or highlights, it's always Knicks fans chanting and being louder than the Hawks fans over there.
Facts.
Yeah, man.
So,
Knicks fans always show up. That's a fact.
That brings me definitely to my next point, and that is home court advantage. Today they announced while Brooklyn was over there letting James Harden get 50% off tickets, man, just begging the fans to please buy tickets. The Knicks announced they sold out 15,000 seats. And KnicksFansWilding is definitely going to be there. Game 1, your boy Triple M is going to be in the building getting crazy. Game 2, Edgar going to be in the building getting wild. And Game 3, your boy Triple M taking that flight straight to Atlanta, and it's going to get crazy. Tequila Tito is going to be out there in full effects. I'm going to be wilding. That's just gonna be wilding. Don Juan, you gotta get your vaccine. You too, man. We gotta get out to the games. But I'm gonna start off with you, bro. Tell me, home court advantage, 15,000 fans. What are you gonna think about MSG during these playoffs?
Oh, the Garden's gonna be rocking, baby. I mean, 8 years since the playoffs last time. We've all been looking forward, and you think about the pandemic, that just added even more, excitement to it. And yeah, it's gonna give us the absolute advantage. And I agree so much with Edgar. We have that home court advantage for 4 games, not even just in New York, in Atlanta, New York, we're everywhere.
We're gonna be out there. We definitely gonna be out there. Don Juan, talk to me, man. How about the playoffs?
We got a preview of the Garden, this past weekend, and it wasn't 15,000 fans, but the fans were heard even with less than 15. How much was it? I forget the capacity at the time, but there was a good amount of fans, and we were making noise out there, and it was against the Hornets. Like, granted, it had some playoff implications. Like, people were gonna show out regardless, but I can't imagine when it's 15,000 in there. Like, that's gonna be huge. It was like, I mean, Elio said it. Like, I feel like the fact that the pandemic, people just want to get out. They've been waiting to get out for so long, and now you add the Knicks in the playoffs, who was already like, whoa, they in the playoffs. Like, the fans want to be there. The fans want to be with the team. The fans want to celebrate, and it's only right that we show out. It's been 8 years. Like, it shows that we're sticking together, and just the Knicks community. Like, you see the faithful fans. Like, yeah, it might have been some dark years, but you see how the fan base just sticks together. I mean, Mario even said it. Like, Brooklyn's over there struggling to sell some tickets, and they got arguably 3 of the top 20 players in the league, 2 of the top 5. Like, it's like, I thought this was a superstar league, but it seems like, nah, man. New York, we're really it's a staple. New York Knicks. We call New York for a reason. Ain't no Brooklyn. Ain't no. It's New York, man. We here.
We here. Edgar, talk to me. What you expecting Game 2, bro? I know you gonna get crazy, bro. Talk to me about that energy out there at the Garden. Game 2.
Well, honestly, I fully expect. You know what would be really nice? I want to hear a "Let's Go Nick" chant, like before the game starts, like during warm-ups and stuff like that. Like, I want to hear that. Put some fear into the Hawks, let them know that the fans are right there. Like, just be loud. Yeah, and if a ref makes a bad call and they keep making bad calls, go after the refs too. Mm-hmm. Be creative. I want to
These refs suck. These refs suck.
We definitely was chanting that this weekend.
Yeah. I want to hear the fans be creative. Let the players know that we're the sixth man, that we're there to support our team.
Yeah, oh man, I can't wait. Yeah, the Garden is gonna be bananas. I mean, this Saturday, me and Juan went to the game, and that was pretty lit. I think it was on 2,000 fans in the arena only, Don Juan, and it was loud in
It was
there.
loud. We were making noise in there.
15,000. There's gonna be 7 times that number this
Hmm.
week, and it's gonna go crazy, man.
Hey, and
I'm telling you, I can't wait. I can't wait. It's 72 hours, but nobody's counting. All right, nobody's counting. I'm not
bro,
counting. I
the
counted.
Hawks, they're a pretty young squad too. Well, Gallo's probably the only one that has those playoff experience. So nobody, and realistically, you can't prep for those fans, man. You really can't prep for that,
Yeah, I
especially
mean,
especially coming from a year with a year with no fans. Half the year with no fans, then slowly bringing in some fans and ATL. Nobody goes out there. I mean, people go to games to get haircuts. That's about it. Last time I heard, they got a barbershop in there, so they could get some fans in there. Like, come on now.
yeah, I mean, only players who have playoff, like true playoff experience for the Hawks is Clint Capella, Gallinari, Lou Williams,
Oh
and
Lord,
I
I forgot.
believe Tony Snell. But other than that,
Tony
nobody on
Snell.
that.
No, 50, 50, 100.
But other than
He has the
that,
most memorable records. He has the 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 in 27 minutes and
other
50,
than
50, 100.
other than
Legend.
that, nobody else on that squad really has playoff experience. Oh, Nate McMillan. And for the Knicks, Derrick Rose, Taj Gibson, Reggie Bullock, Nerlens Noel, and Tibbs all have our playoff experience.
Wow, it's gonna be rocking, brothers. It's gonna be rocking, my brothers, and I cannot wait. But let's wrap this show up. It's gonna be a 2-part question here to end it, man. I'm gonna start with you, Don Juan. All right. Give me your prediction. Don't give me Knicks in 4. I want your prediction. Why? And if the Knicks lose, how would you rate this season?
Mm. I see what you did there. Okay. I say Knicks in 6. I do think that we still won that in Atlanta because of that home court factor. I think that yeah, Atlanta. I still expect Atlanta to give us a game. We have been we are all Knicks fans, and it seems like some people that not maybe not us. I feel like we all made a good argument for Atlanta to be a good competition because we were like, yeah, Atlanta, let's go face a lot of Knicks fans, especially me. I mean, we let's all face Atlanta, but Atlanta, that they were just a better matchup for us to see the next round. But I give Knicks in 6. Atlanta is gonna play a hell of a game. We have a hell of a matchup with Trey Young, and who knows, that man could get on fire, and he's baby Curry, and we need to make sure that we don't, we can't let them get on a run. The three ball has killed us before, and that's a 3-point shooting team, and if we start giving up threes, it could get ugly. So, but Knicks in 6, and in terms of the season, if we lose to this Atlanta team, I do feel like I'll be disappointed just because we swept this team during the season. I expect nothing else than to advance on this team. Granted, Atlanta was hurt in most of the season. They had Gallo out, they had Bogdanovich out, DeAndre Hunter was out. A lot of their rotational players missed some games throughout the year, and especially during our matchup. But even the Nate McMillan changed. Like, he came in, I think if anything, he coached that last game, which was the game that it seemed like the Hawks had that game in the bag, or at least were up most of the game, were in control. So I do think that, yeah, I would be disappointed if they do lose to them because, like I said, 3-0, we swept them. Like, we can't
All
lose to
right.
this team. And we got our whole team, and our whole team is healthy as well. We got Derrick Rose, Alec Burks.
Not
Quickly
Mitch.
is there.
Not Mitch though. He's a
I mean,
big
Mitch,
part.
yeah, but Mitch has been out most of the year, so you already
I don't know about that, bro. He's a big factor.
He's
a
No,
like-
big factor.
I'm not saying he's not a big factor. I'm just saying that we've played without him for so long that we have to move on from that until next year because it's just we can't
All
count on him now.
I see what you mean. E, taking this question to you next, bro. New York Knicks. What do you see? Knicks versus Hawks. Who you got? And would the Knicks season as a whole be a disappointment if they lose?
In my heart of hearts, I want us to sweep. You know what I'm saying? But we got to be real. We got to be real, right? I wouldn't be a Knicks series if we didn't go to 7 games, man. This is our first
Cardiac
playoff
Knicks.
series in a long time. We're still a little new to this. You know what I'm saying? These guys, and I think it's gonna go to 7 games. I think Atlanta's gonna give us a tough fight, but at the end of the day, defense wins championships, and defense comes out on top. So I think we got the matchup there, and if we lose, I won't be disappointed. I really won't be as disappointed just because I felt like this whole year has been a bonus. I mean, I never imagined 40 wins this year. So, if we go out, then we got next year. We still got our core team. We built such a great camaraderie and chemistry. And people, the whole world and the whole NBA is just going to look at us in such a different light at this point.
Yeah, that's
about that time, man. Put respect on the name, man.
Big
Put respect
15.
on the
That's
name,
some
man,
good
while we
points right
here.
there, E. That's
right.
Good points.
Yeah.
Edgar, what about you, bro? What do you expect this series? What do you got? Your prediction? And would this season be a disappointment if the Knicks lose?
Well, I had said Knicks in 6 previously, but I can see this game going. I can see the series going 7 games. I don't want to disrespect the Hawks because they have a pretty good team. They have a lot of threats on that team, especially on offense. They're not going to be an easy out by any stretch. We're going to have to be on our tip-top play. Like, we're going to have to be fully focused throughout all the times. All this stuff that we were doing the last few games, like, going up big, like 15 and going up 18 and then giving up the leads, that has to go. We can't do that type of stuff, especially not in the playoffs, because that's going to bite us in the ass. We cannot do that. And in terms of the season, would I personally be disappointed? Yes, for myself, yes, because I want to see them advance. I don't want to just be a one round thing and that's it. But if we did, I mean, overall, I think it'd still be a very good season. I mean, like he said, nobody expected this. 41 wins, 4th in the East. Julius Randle becoming an All-NBA type player, most improved. Tibbs, possibly coach of the year. RJ Barrett, the leaps that he made in just one season. Yeah. I think there's a lot to look forward to. We have a lot of draft picks. We have a lot of cap space. It's just about how we handle the off season at some point. We're going to have to make big decisions on who we bring back and who we don't bring back, but as long as we handle that the correct way, the future is bright, and there's nothing to be disappointed about in terms of that.
Facts. A lot to celebrate.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy, man. Yo, fellas, thanks for joining us. Make sure to follow my guy. I'm about to take us out of here. Follow my guy at Twitter, Eli Pizza 33. Don Juan gonna put that, man. You got like a weird
Elio's
Twitter
pizza,
handle.
brother, come on now.
Follow my guy also, Edgar, at new_Tate_city. You feel me? And let me take us out of here, bro. Let me talk to y'all. Triple M right here. Gonna be at game 1. Gonna be at game 3, like I told y'all earlier. New York Knicks. I got them in 7 because it's cardiac Knicks. It wouldn't be right. The Knicks were up 20 twice last weekend against the Hornets. Game 1 of overtime. They don't like giving us nothing easy, man. They like scaring us. They like the fans to be a little nervous. Sunday against the G League Celtics. Let them call all the way back 18-2 run to end the game. Come on, it's for the whole home court, fourth court. I know Tibbs was tight. You feel me? But so I got Knicks in 7. Knicks in 7 because we're going to the second round and I'm already looking at hotels in Philadelphia because I'm gonna be out there too. I'll be out there in Philly, man. Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, y'all better be looking for Triple M because I'm gonna be looking for you guys. I'm gonna be definitely looking for you guys. And as far as if this season will be disappointment, I think E hit everything and Edgar too, man. It can't be a disappointment. Edgar said it will be, but I disagree with him. It can be a disappointment. I mean, the Knicks came out of nowhere this year and surprised us for 41 wins. I mean, this season was not supposed to happen at all. They have the most cap space in the league, and they have all this first round. I mean, they have two late first round picks this year, the early twenties, and they have Detroit second round pick, which is, I
Pretty
mean, look
much
at what
first
they did
round.
last offseason, turning 27 to like 23 and then flipping back to 25. I mean, this Knicks front office is creative, and this season can be disappointment because, like I said, this season was not supposed to happen, and they can do anything they want. Sky's the limit. They have a blanket. They have a blanket. They could bring people back. They could trade. They could do so much stuff. So this season cannot be disappointment for my New York Knicks. But anyways, I'm not worried about this season being disappointment because it's Knicks in 7. Knicks in 7. Let's go, New York. We here. Big 15. All that good stuff, man. Thank you for tuning
Yes,
into
sir.
Knicks Fans Wilding. You already know it's my boy Don Juan. It's my dog E, and it's my main guy Edgar, bro. Thank you for joining. Knicks in 7. Remember that. Holla at y'all.
Yes,
Peace.
sir. Make sure to follow our page, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Knicks Fans Wilding. You
Yes,
already know.
sir.
Thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
Wilding.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
for
Holla
listening.
at ya.
Peace.